Good morning, everyone, and I hope you have a good morning today. Where I am, things are fine. I woke up very, very early and I'm okay. I thank God for that. In Kenyan politics today, there is a war brewing between Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi. And most people take this war out of context. They relate or associate this war to politics. But personally, I think the fight between Rigathi Gachagua and Musalia Mudavadi is more out of politics. It is away from politics. In this video today, I will just look at three areas or three critical differences between Rigathi Gachagua, the Deputy President, and Musalia Mudavadi, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, and make us understand that the war between these two political bigwigs is not as a result of political control, but because of something else. I have only three reasons to show that the war between Rigathi Gachagua and Musalia Mudavadi is not because of politics. One of the reasons that I can give or I am sure of is communication skills. When you listen to the Deputy President Gachagua and the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi speak as an elite and as somebody who is informed, you will be able to differentiate who is more to be a good leader or who is more to be a deputy president or who is more to be a president between the two. Most of the since the Kenya Kwanza government resumed office last year, I've been very keen on Rigathi Gachagua's speech when he's within the country, and I've also been very careful listening to Musalia Mudavadi speeches when he's within the country. I must submit that Rigathi Gachagua has a completely loose tongue. When I talk about loose tongue, that means that is somebody who doesn't control what comes out of his mouth, somebody who speaks out of context, somebody who doesn't present himself as a leader occupying a higher office. When you listen to Musalia Mudavadi speaking, you are able to establish that this is a leader of higher rank. He is a leader who is capable of being the president. And I want to submit that serving as the deputy president or serving as a minister, serving as a prime cabinet secretary requires that one has good communication skills. Having good communication skills means that you say things when you are in control of your words. You must be in control of your words. I think I want to say that good communication skills and being a good communicator is one of the unwritten rules or unwritten qualifications of being a president in Kenya. Remember that serving as the deputy president equals to serving as the president, because the deputy president is the assistant to the president. When the president is not around, the deputy president acts as the president. So that means that as the president sorry for that. As the president or deputy president, you must have good communication skills, and you must be able to control your words. There are some words that you can say when you are in informal meetings, and there are some words that you can say or use when you are in formal meetings. Musalia Mudavadi has been very careful with these words. Whether in formal or informal meetings, he has been very, very careful with his words. Comparatively, Gachagua, in most of the speeches that I have watched, Gachagua has demonstrated that is what word can I use to describe is let me say just is loose. He doesn't control his words, what comes out of his mouth. So with this, my rating of these two political bigwigs shows Musalia Mudavadi as a very good communicator who can communicate very well in formal meetings inside Kenya, in Africa, and outside Africa. While Rigathi Gachagua, with his loose speech and misuse of words, can only, and I mean can only, speak in meetings organized within Kenya. So one of the key differences between Rigathi Gachagua and Musalia Mudavadi is the communication skills, the rating. How do these two people communicate, whether in formal or informal informal meetings? And we have found that Rigathi Gachagua is somebody who has a loose tongue, who cannot control the words that come out of his mouth, while while Musalia Mudavadi is always very composed and one who controls his speech and chooses the right words to communicate. And that is why Musalia Mudavadi is well placed to represent the president in meetings outside Africa and in Africa. The second reason why I tend to believe that the war between Rigathi Gachagua and Musalia Mudavadi is not because of politics, but something else, is experience. When I talk about experience, I mean job experience. How have these two people worked in government, and in what capacity have they served? If history doesn't lie, then I want to submit to us that Musalia Mudavadi is more experienced to serve as the president or the deputy president or the prime cabinet secretary than Rigathi Gachagua. We remember that Musalia Mudavadi has been a minister 3 times. Musalia Mudavadi has been Deputy Assistant Prime Minister once. Musalia Mudavadi has served as a member of parliament several times, I can say. So when we look at Musalia's job experience or employment experience, we find that he has served in the capacity of a minister, which nowadays we call cabinet secretaries. So Musalia Mudavadi served as a minister. That was between 1989 and 1997. He also served as Minister for Transport and Communication, Minister of Finance, and Minister for Supplies and Marketing. That is Musalia Mudavadi. During President Kibaki's government, Musalia Mudavadi was the vice president, which according to the current constitution is known as the deputy president. And between 2008 and 2013, Musalia Mudavadi was the deputy prime minister. When I look at Rigathi Gachagua, I don't see his service in senior government positions like serving as a minister or a deputy prime minister or prime minister, let me say so. When I look at history, between 1995 and 1999, Rigathi Gachagua served as DO1, that is District Officer 1. Then he also served as the PA, that is personal assistant of the head of public service. Rigathi Gachagua also served as assistant secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs and National Heritage. Sorry, that was between 1989 and 1990. Rigathi Gachagua, which is always known, he also served as the personal assistant of the former president Uhuru Kenyatta between 2001 and 2006. And in 2017, Rigathi Gachagua served as a member of parliament of Madira constituency. So when you compare these two individuals, Musalia Mudavadi ranks as a leader who has served in senior government positions. Musalia Mudavadi has served as the minister, that is according to the former constitution. He has served as a prime minister, and he has served as the vice president. So in my view, Musalia Mudavadi is more qualified to be the president, or to be the deputy president, or to serve in the capacity of a prime cabinet secretary. Rigathi Gachagua, as the only senior position that I can say that Rigathi Gachagua has served in is a member of parliament. So when you compare these two, you can see that Mudavadi is more qualified than Rigathi Gachagua. And based on these two first reasons, I think President Ruto prefers Mudavadi over Rigathi Gachagua, because even he knows that Musalia Mudavadi is more qualified, has a vast experience of Kenyan politics and international leadership compared to Rigathi Gachagua. We note that President Ruto has been sending Musalia Mudavadi in foreign meetings, and according to me and according to my understanding of the 2010 Constitution, Chapter 9, I think Rigathi Gachagua should be the one representing President William Ruto in foreign meetings, because he is the deputy president, and as serving as the deputy president means that you assist the president, and at some point you can be assigned duties like representing the president in foreign meetings or local meetings. But this has not been the case. Ruto has been preferring or prioritizing Musalia Mudavadi over Gachagua, because one, Ruto knows that Gachagua, with his loose tongue, atachoma picha, let me say so. That is to say that he might use unrequired speech in foreign meetings, or maybe out of context in such meetings, while Musalia Mudavadi is always well composed, focused, and in control of his words. We see that President Ruto has sent Musalia Mudavadi to represent him in DRC, Angola, and Azerbaijan and Brazil, while Rigathi Gachagua, the farthest he has gone is Botswana. That is in Africa, and at some point he was in Rwanda. So Ruto understands that Rigathi Gachagua is well fit for local politics, and the farthest he can go is Africa, while Musalia Mudavadi is well poised for local and international politics. So my second reason why I tend to believe that the war between Rigathi Gachagua and the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi is not out of politics, is experience. My last point, which is more related to politics, but it is more focused to 2027 general elections and maybe further, is the Western factor. I hope you understand that Western Kenya was a critical battleground during the August 2022 general elections, and Western Kenya, with a minimum vote of 2.2 million, attracted the attention of Raila Odinga and Ruto. I understand that during their campaigns, Western region was one of the most visited regions. If I talk about provinces, that is according to the former classification of regions in Kenya. Western region was one of the most visited regions in Kenya during campaigns, and Ruto was more focused in outwitting Raila Odinga in places like Western Coast, Nyanza, those places. Rift Valley and Central were reserved for UDA, according to the last polls. So the Western factor is very critical in the power battle between Rigathi Gachagua and Musalia Mudavadi. And Ruto understands that winning the 2027 general elections requires, most importantly, Western region. If he is to win Western votes, that means that he must be very close and very cautious with Musalia Mudavadi. Because Musalia Mudavadi, if I can say, is the current kingpin of the Western region, is one of the highly ranked officials from Western region in Kenya Kwanza government. So that means that Ruto must be very close to Musalia Mudavadi, and he must be very cautious to impress the Western leader to win Western votes in 2027. So up to this point, I believe you understand why Rigathi Gachagua and Musalia Mudavadi are at war. This is not because of politics or office control. This is because of the communication skills between these two people, the difference in how they communicate and how they handle their words. This is because of their difference in experience. Musalia Mudavadi is more experienced to serve as the president or in a higher position than Rigathi Gachagua, and the current president, President Ruto, is more focused on winning Western votes come 2027, and doing this requires that he puts Musalia Mudavadi very close. He must be very, very careful when handling Musalia Mudavadi, and that is why you can see President Ruto offering more, let me say, programs, opportunities to Musalia Mudavadi than Rigathi Gachagua. And something that I want to note before I forget. Remember that according to the 2010 Constitution, there is the office of the president and the office of the deputy president. The 2020 Constitution does not recognize the position of deputy, the prime cabinet secretary. So constitutionally, and I mean constitutionally, when I refer to the 2010 Constitution, the office of Rigathi Gachagua is recognized and protected by the Constitution, while the office of Musalia Mudavadi is not protected in the Constitution. As a rejoinder, President Ruto issued an executive order number 1 of 2022. That was on 12th October 2022. This executive order outlined the organization of the Kenya Kwanza government. And in this outline, the office of the president was recognized, the office of the deputy president was recognized, and the office of the prime cabinet secretary was recognized. That was on the basis of the executive order. The executive order recognized the office of the prime cabinet secretary, which is not in the Constitution. So why was I bringing this issue? This can explain why Rigathi Gachagua at some point back snubbed Musalia Mudavadi. He never recognized Musalia Mudavadi. So this may be one of the contributing factors to this power play between these two individuals. Rigathi Gachagua knows that Musalia Mudavadi's office is not recognized by the constitution. The office is only recognized by the executive order number 1 sorry, of 2022. But when it comes to the constitution, Musalia Mudavadi's office is not recognized. Sorry to say that Deputy Rigathi Gachagua may say that Musalia Mudavadi is in office illegally, which is not the case. Which is not the case. So I think the power balance between Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi will sometimes lead to a full-blown war if not carefully managed. And as I have explained in this video, the fight between these two individuals can be explained more than politics. We can use politics, yes, to explain the war between these two individuals. But when we look at these individuals closely and we compare them, we find that the differences between them make the power play more visible. When I look at the communication skills between Gachagua and Mudavadi, when I look at the experience between Gachagua and Mudavadi, there are very clear differences between them. And according to my ratings, Musalia Mudavadi is more qualified and highly ranked to serve in a higher position than Gachagua, which is contrary to the executive structure and hierarchy in the Kenya Kwanza government, which places Rigathi Gachagua in a more senior position than Musalia Mudavadi. And when I joined Ruto in this fight, I say that Ruto might be focused in winning Western votes come 2027 general elections, and he needs to solidify the Western region by attracting and putting close Musalia Mudavadi. I don't know what you think about this issue, and correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I want to hypothesize and argue and claim and state that the arrangement or the political marriage between William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua was out of convenience. And mark my words, it was out of convenience, but not qualifications. If it was out of qualifications, then Professor Kindiki would have served as the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. But because it was out of convenience, that is why President Ruto settled on Rigathi Gachagua, which I also believe that Gachagua was not Ruto's choice of a deputy. He bowed to pressure from UDA members, and that is why he chose Gachagua over Kindiki. So I want to claim that President Ruto's marriage, political marriage with Rigathi Gachagua, was out of convenience and not because of qualifications. If it was because of qualifications, then Professor Kindiki would have served as the Kenya Kwanza deputy president. And sometimes in politics, we make certain decisions to win votes, and that is what Ruto did. He chose Gachagua to win central votes. Prove me wrong in the comments. I pray that you watch this video, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. And up to that point, I pray that you have a good day. And before I leave, subscribe, share, comment. Thank you. And this is Migai Gordon. Until next time, asanteni.